Welcome to Without Bias.
Apia, the go-to insurance for retirees. Call 135050. Get set, go. Local legends want it. A bowls green is just up the road. Search Bowls Club near me.
Welcome to Without Bias, our dedicated lawn bowl show, part of the Sporting Capital on SEM, where we dive into the wonderful world of lawn bowls. And two very esteemed guests on the program this evening. I'm talking about Commonwealth Games gold medalists. I'm talking about world champions. I'm talking about two of the best that have ever represented Australia as Jackaroos, and they'll be doing so again next month when Australia heads over to Birmingham to compete in the 2022 Commonwealth Games. So Natasha van Eldik's going to join me in the second segment of the show. Lindsey Clark is standing by, ready to roll. Just a quick score in the fourth one-day international between Sri Lanka and Australia. Sri Lanka was sent in by the Aussies, 3 for 87 into the 20th over. So not really moving at a rapid rate of knots. We're here to talk about lawn bowls, and we do it all for Bowls Australia. Local legends wanted, so it's bowls clubs near me, and for Apia, proudly supporting Bowls Australia. So what a lead up to these Com Games our Jackaroos have got. The Australian Open happening day 11. We're through day 11 at the Australian Open up on the Gold Coast, and Lindsey Clark has been good enough to jump on the line to have a yarn to us on Without Bias. Lindsey, hello.
Hi, Sam. How you going? Sorry about the background noise. I've got two little kids still awake here.
The more noise, the better, I reckon. All the better for speaking to you. I'm always blown away when I just refamiliarise myself with your history in lawn bowls and what you've been able to achieve. 411 times you've represented your country. You've got 5 gold medals at World Championships. You've got a gold medal in the 2006 Com Games, 2014 in Glasgow. There isn't much you haven't achieved in this sport. How are you feeling heading into another Com Games? Has it all sunk in that you're going to do it all again?
Look, kind of, but not really. I think, as you just mentioned, as we headed into this chat, I'm in the middle of the Australian Open campaign at the moment. So it's only been a couple of weeks ago they announced our Australian team for the Commonwealth Games. So I soaked that up. We played the Trans-Tasman and had a great series together. And I think at the end of this week, after the Australian Open's finished, it'll really feel a bit more real, I think. But, it's just exciting. This is my 4th Games, and I think, it was just as exciting hearing my name announced in this team as it was the first time around. So, really special and really excited to be heading over to the UK in just over 2 weeks' time.
What do you put that down to, Lindsey, when you've achieved all that you have in the sport, that it still feels the same hearing it read out for your 4th Com Games as it did for your first?
I think it's just the nature of our sport being, no selection it's ever guaranteed, I guess, and everybody works so hard to reach, their ultimate goal, which is obviously playing Commonwealth Games. It's the biggest thing we can do in our sport. So I guess, I don't know, I know how much work has gone into it. I know how much sacrifice my family has given me, obviously, to be able to do what I do still now with a 3 and a 6-year-old. My husband's amazing, and Mum's a lot of support, my club. And I guess it means a bit more now as a mum as well. This is my first Commonwealth Games as a mum in Glasgow. It was just me and my husband, so we were child-free and a bit freer, I guess. But, this time around it's extra special. And, my 6-year-old knows exactly what's happening. And, it's just different. It's a different excitement, but, just as exciting as the first time.
2006, the pairs gold medal with Karen Murphy. Your memories and recollections?
Oh, yes. Look, I mean, I can't believe it's been that long. How many years ago is that? That's my maths. It's a bit late, so it's a lot of years ago. 2006 will go down as one of my favourite bowling career highlights that I've ever had, to be honest. So, Commonwealth Games, as I mentioned, it's the highest honour in our sport. To win gold, it was my first ever Commonwealth Games alongside my idol. I never thought I'd play with her, let alone be best mates with her now, sort of 20 years down the track. And, it was just an epic event. And the opening ceremony at the MCG, there was 90,000 people there. We walked in front of them. It just feels like yesterday, but it was so long ago. But, it was a really special time.
And I imagine you're feeling like it's a bit of a good luck charm for you to have her within the coaching setup now as she's assistant coach of the Jackaroos. So I'll be right there with you on the plane heading over.
Yeah, look, I'm super stoked Kaz is there as a coach, and when she retired, it was very emotional. She's been with me for my nearly 20 years in the Australian team, and at the time I thought that's kind of the end, but I'm so lucky, and we're really grateful that we've been able to secure her services as a coach. She knows the game inside out. She knows how to play over there in the UK. She knows her opposition. She's a super good motivator, I think, and she just knows what it's like to be out there. So, yeah, we're really lucky and definitely grateful we got Kazza on our side, along with our other great coaches as well.
Yeah, so her and Gary Willis are really starting to make a lot of – they're still really starting to prioritise analytics in bowls, Lynsey, and I'd love to get your take on this because it's something that it's not that bowls has been slow to get into, but it's now for probably the first time being really seriously looked at in the lead up, especially to international events, and being used as a way now more and more to try and find statistical information that can help you get an edge. How have you seen the introduction of analytics into lawn bowls?
Yeah, it's been pretty cool actually the last couple of years or so. I guess Australia, we've been quite dominant on the international stage for a long time, but the other countries they're really sort of catching up to where we're at. So we need to find another edge, like you mentioned, and being able to have like a stats program and be able to reflect on our own performances along with our opposition. Most other sports, people sit down and analyse their game or the opposition, footy or basketball, whatever it is. So, it just makes sense to me. So we're able to find out what works and also find out what we need to work on to get better. We don't worry too much generally about what our opposition is doing, but if there's any little consistencies that we can sort of prey on, then we'll maybe look into that as well. But, any little advantage or little 1%ers, that's what's going to get us over the line when, it's a super tight battle and we might just need that little edge to go, what, you've hit your forehand, 7 times out of 10 on this exact ring, go for it. So it's just another little bit of ammo in our pocket.
Is there anything that analytics has taught you about your game that you weren't aware of?
No, not really. Probably I play, if I'm just leading, which I have been doing in our Australian team or playing singles, I just like to play a lot of forehand. So I just play forehand around the clock most times, just because I feel I find a pretty good rhythm by doing that. So it sort of come out before the coaches. Sorry, I've got my son here. But,
all good.
Before the coaches, before we had that chat, they perhaps didn't know that to start with. So they were like, "Oh, Lynsey, do you not like your backhand? Do we need to work on that?" It's just familiarising ourselves with that's something I like to do. Not necessarily because I favour it, but just because I get a good rhythm. So nothing out of the ordinary as yet, but it's something that's evolving and it's current, and perhaps middle of the game something might occur, especially in the UK where the greens are different. They can be quite challenging, that they're able to pick up that data mid-game and let us know straight away.
Looking forward to seeing, especially in the hunt now to achieve the first gold medal in the Northern Hemisphere. Hasn't been done by an Australian yet. Hopefully this is the Com Games that it can happen. A bit closer to home, speaking of Lindsey Clark, Birmingham-bound Jackaroo, one of our best ever. You're at the Australian Open at the moment. How have you found the tournament? You're out of the singles and the pairs, but you're still alive in the fours, and you've got a very, very good team in and around you. Beck Van Ash, Sam Ferguson and Kelsey Cottrell. How have you found the event so far?
Yeah, I love the Australian Open, Sam. I've had a lot of success there, both when it was in Victoria and the last 6 or 7 years that it's been up here on the Gold Coast. Just found out in the pairs today on the last bowl, which was a bit heartbreaking. Got a bit stiff there, but, that's the way it goes. And made the last 8 of the singles, which was pretty cool for me. I'm not normally a singles player. And then, down to the semi-final of the fours. So I just, there's such a buzz around the Australian Open. There's so many competitors. Winning is great, but just, seeing everyone around supporting, in the marquee tent, buying new shirts and measures and all the new gear, and really looking forward to the televised matches on Thursday and Friday and being involved with some of the hosting of that as well. But yeah, there's just a great vibe. Like it just really is like a bowls bonanza, a bowls festival, and even the bowlers that have partners that aren't bowlers are loving the atmosphere. And if you get knocked out, it's probably a positive sometimes, because then you can go and enjoy the great things that the Gold Coast has to offer in terms of beaches and the rainforest or theme parks or shopping centres. So yeah, it's a win-win, really. It's awesome.
Well, when you're doing the broadcast, give my man Jack Heverin a hug from me. Got to let you go, Lynsey. 9 Australian Open titles in 4 disciplines. I can only imagine what a 10th might mean to you in the semis of the fours. And good luck for the rest of the Australian Open. And I know that you'll do us all proud over at the Com Games next month.
Oh, thanks, Sam. Very much appreciated. We love the support. And, thanks so much. We'll be doing our very best for the mighty Aussies.
Got no doubt about that. Lindsey Clark, 411 caps for Australia, heading over to her 4th Com Games. Look out for Lindsey Clark leading the fours over there. Local Legends wanted a bowls green. It's just up the road. Search bowls clubs near me. And without bias, is for Apia, the go-to insurance for retirees. Call 135050. From one great to another, Tash van Eldik, another Birmingham-bound Jackaroo, also alive at the Australian Open in the fours, will be our next guest on Without Bias.
This is Without Bias.
Apia, the go-to insurance for retirees. Call 135050. Get set, go. Local legends wanted. A bowls green is just up the road. Search Bowls Club near me.
It was great to chat to Lindsey Clark a little bit earlier on Without Bias, our dedicated lawn bowl show on SEN. Local Legends Wanted, search bowls clubs near me. You can check that chat out on the podcast page, sen.com.au. Of course, Without Bias, thanks to Apia, proudly supporting Bowls Australia. From one Jackaroos great to another. Natasha van Eldik has won 5 World Outdoor Championship gold medals, 2 Commonwealth Games gold medals. Is the reigning gold medalist in the fours and the triples, has represented Australia on 334 occasions, and she has gained selection for her 4th Commonwealth Games, and she's joining us on the line. Natasha, congratulations. How does it feel to be going to your 4th Com Games?
Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's exciting. It's an understatement to say that, to think that I'm going to my 4th Commonwealth Games at, the young age of 31. But, if somebody had said to me, you could represent Australia at 1, I would have taken it. So, yeah, it's very exciting.
You're the reigning champion, as I mentioned, or reigning gold medalist in the triples and the fours. Is it a hunted type thing? How are you feeling with the target on your back heading in?
Look, if you're a gold medalist, you always have a target on your back. But being Australian, the rest of the countries are out to get you at the best of times. So we've definitely got a massive target on our backs. But, that adds to the determination to perform over there. And I think, for myself, I'm looking forward to it. And I strive, when I've got a big target on my back.
You're teaming up with Lindsey Clark, who we just had on before. And Beck Van Ash as well in the triples, and then it's the 3 of you and Christina Kristich in the fours. That's a very, very good foursome, very, very good threesome. Do you feel like you've got every element there with those ladies, and that's the right team to be taking in to try and get that elusive Northern Hemisphere gold?
Absolutely. The gold medal over in the Northern Hemisphere, hasn't been done before by an Australian team. So it's definitely a goal of ours. And, with the 3 girls in the fours and the other 2 girls in the triples, I definitely think that the combinations are the right combinations to take over there to perform. And I guess, if we can all hit our straps at the same time, then I think that gold medal will be ours.
Speaking of Natasha van Eldik on Without Bias for Right at Care, right at home. Tash, that elusive Northern Hemisphere gold, how big a part of the narrative has it been for you guys heading over there? Is it something that the coaches are tapping into, whether it be Gary Willis, or is this is this all part of, I suppose, a bigger... Yeah, how big a part is it playing in the narrative around the build-up for you guys?
Look, it's always there. It's been mentioned, in the lead up to it, but it's not the be all and end all. As I said before, we've just got to go over there, do what we do best. It has been mentioned, and I guess you can take it either way, and we've decided to take it as a positive. And we're just going to go over there, do our best. If we happen to win a gold, then it's obviously history for Australia, and I suppose everyone goes to a Commonwealth Games with a gold medal as their dream, and if it can be done over in the Northern Hemisphere where it's never been done before, then that's even better.
Australian Open underway at the moment, Tash. Unfortunately, out of the singles and the pairs, but still very much alive in the fours, and similar to what I was saying to Lynsey a little earlier, that the team that you're rolling in with, Jamie Lee Worsnope, Genevieve Delves and Dawn Heyman, very good lineup there. How have you found the event so far?
Look, to be back on the Gold Coast is fantastic, and to have the Australian Open back in full swing is awesome. With this team that I've got in the fours, we've definitely got our work cut out for us with, coming up against the defending champions tomorrow. But we're all, great players in our own right. And, if we can all just go in there, get them closer than the opposition, then I'm sure we may come away with a win.
You've got a brilliant record at the Australian Open. I don't think we've got enough time to go through just how many gold medals you've won there. But as I look through the list, last year in the singles, you've had 2019 gold in the singles as well, 2016, and the list goes on, 2015 in the fours. What would another one mean to you?
Yeah, I've had a lot of success in the singles here at the AO, but, those team events, they don't come very often. So to come away with a win in the fours, or even just to make the final in the fours, would be amazing with these, three great teammates that I've got, and to go through, I guess COVID and the struggles that we've all had. And as I said, just to come away with a win would be an amazing feeling. But as I said, we've got our work cut out for us tomorrow, coming up against a very solid team. So we'll just have to see what happens on the day.
Speaking of, as I said, Lynsey before, just saying that there is just something that is feeling a little bit more, even more special about the Australian Open this year. Have you felt that? And you mentioned COVID, and then there's a Com Games just around the corner. Do you think that's all playing a part in the atmosphere and the vibe that you guys are able to experience during this Australian Open?
Yeah, I guess, with the record amount of entries that we've had for the AO, and, the weather's been absolutely phenomenal. So everyone's willing to come on holidays, and then if they get to play a game of bowls whilst they're on holidays, then they think it's Christmas, really. So you can't get much better up here. The vibe's fantastic. And, even though the weather's been, unreal to us, the bowls has been fantastic as well. So it's going to be a spectacular event tomorrow, where all the finals are being played at Helensvale, and then the big ones at Broadbeach in the coming days.
Really appreciate you giving us some time. I'll let you go and rest up for all of that and what's to come in the next couple of days of the Australian Open, but then the job to do in Birmingham. Enjoy it. I know you'll do us all proud. Thanks so much for joining us on Without Bias.
Thanks for having me.
Tash van Eldik there, Birmingham-bound, heading to her fourth Com Games, looking for her third Commonwealth Games gold medal, the reigning pairs and fours champion, and a pleasure to have her on Without Bias. For Right at Home, the official naming rights partner of the Australian Jackaroos, and don't forget local Legends Monitor Bowls Green is just up the road. Search bowls clubs near me, and thanks to Apia, the go-to insurance for retirees, 135050, get set, go. Hey, there's no global game this week, so you've got me for another hour. So the phone line's open, 1300 736 736, Sporting Capital after this.